Today we're going to get straight to business. Number one, if you ever plan to own any kind of real estate, this video is for you. I don't care if it's land, houses, apartment buildings, commercial real estate, tiny homes. You need to understand what's in this video because something big just changed, and it's going to change your opportunity for making money in real estate. Again, I don't care what you're buying, and I don't care if you're a home buyer or you're the most savvy investor ever. The information here will affect your bottom line. So put aside the kiddies and boomer videos and let's get to business. I'm coming to you from the Fairmont in San Francisco, and outside of this window is a view of a lot of expensive real estate. And it made me realize we need to have a conversation about the new rule that was just passed by the Realtor Association and the loophole that was left wide open for you to make money. So here's the scoop. In case you're not familiar, when a real estate agent is hired by a seller to sell a property, that real estate agent is generally going to take that property, whatever it is, and enter it into something called the Multiple Listing Service, or MLS. That's basically just a website where all agents dump the listings, and then that information gets syndicated or automatically spread out to thousands of different websites who pay for that information. For example, Zillow, Realtor.com, and Redfin pay for the information in the MLS so they can then show it to consumers and advertise their services along with it. That's why when you go to Zillow, you see ads from other real estate agents, or when you go to Redfin, you see ads from their services to help you buy a place or sell a place. However, there's been a little bit of a sneaky problem that this rule is trying to solve. When real estate agents like myself take a listing from a seller, there's an incentive for me to find a buyer. The easiest way for me to find a buyer is to take that listing, maybe I'm, painting the walls or cleaning the carpet a little bit, and it just happens to be taking me 4 weeks to do that. I can take that property, put up a for sale sign, hang a little coming soon sign underneath that, and throw it up on Zillow or Redfin as a coming soon listing. And guess who now is the only person who happens to have keys to the property while still exposing the property to the public? Moi. Which increases the odds of me being able to represent both a buyer and seller, which usually the buyers and sellers like because maybe they can save like 0.5% of a commission or a tiny little bit of a discount. And I love it because I get paid much more. And I also don't have to deal with another real estate agent. Now, that's not saying I don't want to deal with another real estate agent, but if you know anything about real estate, the less people are involved, the better. I don't want to hear from your grandma and I don't want to hear from your neighbor about their opinions about your listing. Now, just so you know what I'm talking about, I've represented hundreds of clients as either buyers, sellers of homes or investment properties, and I personally pride myself on making most of my money from investing in real estate. I believe investing in real estate is the best way to make money, especially since there are ways to never pay taxes on that money. I personally own over $6 million in real estate, and that's not with any kind of partners or some kind of BS Fugazi magic. It's just myself and my wife having started buying real estate at 19 and making it a goal to continue to build our portfolio every single year. But it's not just a matter of helping people buy and sell real estate or owning real estate that makes me different. It's my perspective towards helping you make money by buying below market value real estate that is going to change your life if it hasn't already with the principles that I teach in, for example, the real estate investing course linked below or my real estate agent course. But let's get to what just changed. The National Association of Realtors adopted a new MLS Statement 8.0 from the Handbook on Multiple Listing Policy. That says, within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public, the listing broker must submit the listing to the MLS for cooperation with other MLS participants, aka other agents are going to have keys to my coming soon listings, and now I can no longer use the sign or my private Facebook group or my email blast or my Zillow coming soon listings to draw eyeballs to listings that only I have access to. In other words, every frickin' agent is going to have access to my coming soon listings. Now, what does this have to do with you making money? Well, let's explain the old system and then compare it to the new system, and then I'm going to show you where the loophole is because most people are going to be completely blind to this loophole. So, number one, The current system is if a house goes on the market, great, every agent can show it. Or you can have an agent that could take a coming soon listing. They could email all of their clients, post to their private Facebook group, tell all their other realtor friends about it or their office staff about it, whatever. And pretty much only buyers associated with agents in that circle can take advantage of these properties in terms of purchasing them. This created a lot of really good opportunities for flippers and investors to buy what I call wedge deals. See, a really simple explanation of a wedge deal is this. I can buy a house in Southern California for $450,000 that I know only needs paint, flooring, and a little bit of sprucing up to the kitchen and bathroom, and it's going to be worth $600,000 to $615,000. That is, I can literally buy a place for $450,000, spend $50,000, and now have a place that's worth an extra $100,000 to $115,000. That's what I call buying a below market value wedge deal. That's also what flippers take advantage of. So that way they can buy a house cheap, they put a little bit of money in, and they can put it back on the market. The best opportunities for flippers and wedge market buyers can sometimes be getting deals before they ever hit the market. The reason for that is very simple. If there are less buyers who are aware that a fixer-upper is for sale, then it's a lot easier for an investor to sneak in their offer and buy a below market value deal without additional competition from other buyers. Basically, the smaller the buyer pool, the less money sellers get. So this new rule tries to change that by saying, okay, well, we want to make sure that every agent has access to be able to sell these deals and all investors have access to be able to sell these deals. That's going to end up meaning investors are paying more money and sellers are picking up more money, which if you look at it from a moral point of view, this is an excellent rule. This is a perfect rule. There's a beautiful loophole that's left wide open, which we're going to talk about in a second, that I'll definitely be taking advantage of, and you should as well. But here's the scoop. Anytime there's something known as information asymmetry, where let's say buyers, investors, or home buyers who want to profit from owning real estate, people like myself and like you, anytime we know of a deal that's available and other people don't, that's good. That gives us an opportunity to make money. It's the same as me looking at a deal going, I can fix that place up for $50K and make it worth $600, where another buyer comes in and goes, I gotta tear it down. This place scares me. Because that other person didn't know how far paint, flooring, and that little refresh in the bathroom and kitchen would take. That buyer doesn't have the information that says you could turn $50,000 into $100,000 like that investing in real estate. That's their loss. That's the person's gain who has knowledge, like the people in my investing course or the people who follow my videos on YouTube or the people who know of these off-market value deals. You get a big advantage. So I totally understand where the Realtor Association's coming from, and so this is why I actually support the National Association of Realtors in their decision to close this sort of secret sharing of listings, these off-market pocket listings, which was the old school term for, oh yeah, I got this fixer in my pocket over here. Hey, you want to do a deal with me? You know, they send it to their private Facebook groups or whatever. Hey, you want to come use Compass Real Estate because we got a whole website full of pocket listings? Yeah, sorry, you just lost your pocket. And now they're spilled on the floor, and everybody can freaking buy them. By the way, I always thought what Compass was doing was a little BS, this whole like brokerage surrounded around pocket listings. It's total BS. But they're not the only ones who would do this. There were a lot of brokerages who would say, yeah, hey, convince your seller to give you 2 weeks as a coming soon period so we could just market it to all the agents within the office, and that way hopefully we can represent both ends and the broker gets the double commission, which cuts out all of the other agents. That's always been total BS. Maybe I just feel that way because I'm my own broker, but I don't like that because I do think morally it robs the seller of getting full market value, and honestly it's probably unethical to rob your client of market value. If somebody hires me as a real estate agent, I will never, ever let them sell a property before it hits the MLS. In fact, when I go to listing appointments, one of the reasons I close listings is because I tell sellers, If somebody comes to you and says they're going to do a coming soon exclusive 2-week period or whatever for my office only, realize it robs you of market value thanks to information asymmetry, which I've already explained in this video. But I'll tell you, that closes deals because it shows sellers, here, let me show you how the industry currently operates. Let me show you why it's wrong. And let me show you the path towards making the most money. So again, from the point of view of a listing broker representing sellers, this National Association of Realtors rule, perfect. From the point of view as a buyer's agent, perfect. However, from the point of view of being an investor, this might initially sound like a little bit of a poopy rule because those darn pocket listings that are just so juicy with profit are going to be a little harder to come by. Well, that's where the loophole comes in. See, if I'm not representing a client, it's not my problem if I write them a lowball offer and they take my offer. That's not unethical. I believe it is only unethical to buy a property below market value if you are actually representing somebody as their fiduciary, as their agent. So for example, somebody comes to me and says, Kevin, I want to get the most money possible for my house. What should we do? Well, we have to put it on the market. Let's clean it up, let's do paint and carpet, and let's get it on the market. That will always get you the most money for the property. Now on the flip side, if another agent calls me and says, hey, I got a listing in my pocket. I could sell it to you for $4 right now if you can get me hard money cash or whatever you need to do. If you could get this thing to close in 7 days, I'll sell it to you for $4. That ain't my client. I will take that deal if I look at it and I go, I know with $50K I can make that place worth $550 to $600 to $700K, whatever it is. I will buy that deal. I make this distinction in this example here because I really want to separate ethics here in the way ethics should be divided. If you are hired to represent somebody, you have an obligation to tell them how can they get the most money possible. However, if you are an investor and you are simply providing money like, hey, can I pay you $5,000 for your Tesla Model X? There's nothing wrong with me making a low offer. That is not unethical. That is on to the person owning that Tesla Model X to say, yeah, I'll take $5,000 for it. If they're getting ripped off, it's their problem. They should have either hired an advocate, an agent, or done research to find out what the true market value is. Okay, now let's just quickly pause and take a look back at what I just said, and then let's talk about the loophole. I told you what the MLS is. I told you that real estate agents presently can put properties on the market as coming soon, and in other words, share them secretly amongst their offices or small communities with limited buyer pools. And basically that agent can then get a double commission. That broker gets a double commission by representing both sides possibly. And usually sellers are the ones getting ripped off because they're not getting a true market value because the property is never on the market. Then we talked a little bit about ethics. Is it ethical to buy property below market value? And what's the difference between just making an offer as an investor and being a fiduciary or somebody who's obligated to do what's in their client's best interest? Now, the loophole. So, as with any good loophole, you always start with the rule or law itself, because there's the way the rule is written and the way the rule sounds, and then there's the loophole. So here's the scoop. Within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public, the listing broker must submit the listing to the MLS for cooperation with other MLS participants. Okay, we got that. Okay, within 1 business day of an agent putting up a coming soon sign, or putting it on Zillow as coming soon, or sending out an email coming soon blast, or putting it on their private Facebook group, that agent is now required to share it with all agents by putting it into the multiple listing service. This is good. We're cool with that. Now, the loophole comes from their definition of public. Public marketing includes, but is not limited to, flyers displayed in windows, and golly, if people are actually buying houses off flyers displayed in windows, I will vomit. Like, that is stupid. Yard signs, digital marketing on public-facing websites, that could be, your Facebook group or a Zillow. Brokerage website displays. Digital communications marketing like email blasts or sort of mass email lists. Multiple brokerage listing sharing networks. and applications available to the general public. Okay, cool. So we read that. Where's the loophole, Kevin? They pretty much just hit everything. They got signage, they got websites, they got apps, they got private groups. They pretty much got everything here. So pretty much if an agent advertises a property through any means, that listing has to be submitted to the MLS, and there goes your opportunity as an investor or a home buyer looking to get an off-market deal. Poof, gone. Well, what did they not mention? Well, let's now talk about the loophole. In my real estate investing course, I teach you how to find high-quality real estate agents, the best real estate agents in your market. One of the things I also recommend you do is you make sure you're not a secret investor. You want people to know that you're an investor, or you're a home buyer looking for good deals, you're a new buyer looking for a duplex or a triplex that needs a little bit of work, whatever it is. You got to get that information out there. But this changes things a little bit because, again, we want those off-market opportunities. Now, quick clarification, I'm not saying the only way to get deals is off-market. You can get amazing deals on the multiple listing service. I'm just saying, if you want to make money from real estate, you ought to keep this loophole open. The loophole is a direct and private communication with your network of real estate agents. That is, if you have 10 high-quality secondary agents, or what I call in my investing course, agents within your secondary circle. It used to be that, here's my info, put me on your email list and send me your deals. Guess what you have to do now to change it up and be compliant here? Constant communication with the high-quality agents in your region. So for example, if I'm looking to buy a good deal in Ventura, California, while in the past, I might just scroll through some of these private Facebook groups or look for these email blasts that come out, what am I going to do now? I'm going to step up my game a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit more active, and every couple weeks, I'm going to send a text message, or I'm going to call, or I'm going to privately email each one of my top 10 high-quality real estate agents who I know are doing most of the business in the city anyway, and I'm simply going to say to them, hey, just wondering, do you have any deals coming up? See, this now takes advantage of something really special that I haven't talked about yet. Remember how I said sellers could agree to a coming soon period, that the agent can, put it on Zillow and have a coming soon sign in the front yard and privately showcase it to agents in their office or other buyers? Yeah, well, there's another coming soon phase. It's sort of like the pre-coming soon phase. And that phase starts the night a listing agent takes a listing, that contract gets signed, the ink hasn't even dried yet, and that agent is driving home or to their office or whatever for the next few days before that agent has even said a word or even thought about saying a word to Facebook or their email list or whatever, they get a text from you. Hey, got any opportunities coming up? Oh, well, I happen to just sign this listing on a property that needs work. We're thinking this price, we think it needs this amount of work, here's the address, here's the location. Boom. Guess what? 110% legal. Why?
Don't sue me, bro.
Because the MLS rule says within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public. An agent's not marketing a property to the public if you're sending them an email or message to check in, and they reply to you with a private email, they reply to your text message, they reply to your phone call, you meet them in person because you showed up at their office, and you're like, oh, nope, no deals this week, or, oh, yeah, hey, got this one. You talk about it all day long. Hey, you want to go check it out right now? Yep, let's go check it out. And guess what just happened? What this actually means. It actually means that thanks to the fact that most people aren't that proactive and most people are probably a little bit more on the lazy side when it comes to looking for deals. I'm not trying to cast shade, okay? I can be lazy when I'm looking for deals too. Everybody does it. The investors who actually do what I just said will get even better deals. So in other words, this rule potentially opens up the door to investors getting even better and even cheaper below market value deals. Think about it this way. In old school, agent has, let's say, I don't know, 100 investors in a Facebook group. Hey, got a deal coming up over here. They probably have at least 2 or 3 offers from this if it's a good deal, and that's going to kind of push the property's value up to market value. Well, now, if it's going to take an investor reaching out to agents going, hey, you got anything? And they reply going, yeah, I got this coming up. The odds are you're the only frickin' person to know about this. Boom. Seller gets screwed. Not the buyer's problem. Buyer pockets big cash. So why is this the Realtor Association's fault? Well, the Realtor Association could have easily said within 24 hours of signing a listing agreement, the property has to be inputted into the MLSs coming soon. Even if it's just straight up price, address. Don't care about photos, description, nothing. Must be in the MLS within 24 hours. But they didn't do that. They said within 1 business day of marketing the property. So it's quite possible that agents can still have this sort of secret back pocket listing, we'll call it, and buyers who are proactive and reach out to them can now advertise these back pocket listings to the active investors looking for good deals. Now buyers are getting better deals and sellers are getting even worse deals. So I have a big message here. Thank you, Realtor Association. You just made it a lot easier for me to get even better deals. Because while most people are like, I'm gonna get my real estate license so I can save 2.5% on a commission, I am the kind of buyer that's like, I'm a real estate broker. I'll gladly pay you 2.5% to sell me a deal because I make money investing in real estate, not only with buying and selling real estate. So I'm more than happy to hit up top agents in my market and say, hey, got anything? I'm ready to buy. Let me know if you got anything. Even me as a broker, I'm not looking to save 2.5%. I didn't build my portfolio with 2.5%. I built it by owning and controlling real estate. And you should as well. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more methods on how to build your wealth. Follow me on Instagram. Check out those links down below for my in-person crash courses, my online investing course with private live streams, my agent course with private live streams, and I even have a do-it-yourself property management course and another personal finance course being released very shortly. Thanks so much again, and until next time.